Allow us first to introduce ourselves. I am Janet Taganas.
I am Joanna May Sugitan.
I'm Luis Julia Pantino.
I'm Carlos Estrada.
And we are the researchers. And we are honored to be here today to present to you our research entitled Analyzing the Effectiveness of Online Learning Platforms for IT Students.
As a group, we have spent countless hours researching, discussing, and collaborating to develop a comprehensive understanding of this topic.
So without further ado, let us begin.
Chapter 1 Introduction. Online learning platforms refers to web-based platforms that provide individuals with the opportunity to access education and training programs online. These platforms utilize technology to deliver educational content to learners in a variety of formats such as video lectures, online discussions, quizzes, and assignments. Online learning platforms offers numerous benefits such as flexibility, cost-effectiveness, and the ability to personalize learning to suit individual needs. The flexibility and accessibility offered by online learning platforms have enabled students to learn at their own pace and convenience, irrespective of geographical location. However, the effectiveness of online learning platforms in delivering quality education to IT students remain a subject of debate. Therefore, the purpose of this study is to analyze the effectiveness of online learning platforms for IT students. The researcher will examine various online learning platforms used by the IT students, including their features, advantages, and disadvantages. Additionally, this study will investigate the impact of online learning on student performances, engagement, and satisfaction. The findings of this research will provide valuable insights to the effectiveness of online learning platforms for IT students, which can inform decision-making in educational institutions and policy-making at the national level.
Chapter 3 Methodology. Research Design. In this particular research undertaking entitled Analyzing the Effectiveness of Online Learning Platform for IT Student, we will use the quantitative type of research that is designed as experimental. The research The quantitative type will be used to measure the data that will be collected throughout the study. Statistical, computation, or mathematical method will be part of the study in order to come up with the final result.
Research environment. The production of survey questionnaire of the study analyzing the effectiveness of online learning platforms for IT students will be conducted at Isabela State University, Kawayan Campus through printing. The researchers will distribute the survey questionnaires and collect the raw data on Isabela State University, Kawayan Campus, mainly focusing on the second-year IT students.
Sampling procedures. The researchers will use a questionnaire and will allow the second-year IT students of Isabela State University, Kawayan Campus as the respondents that may answer the survey questionnaires by providing the personal data and the effects of online learning platforms involving the factors of different types of online learning platforms, satisfaction, and how convenient it is for IT students.
Statistical data. The data will be gathered after conducting a survey about analyzing the effectiveness of online learning platform for IT students. It will be interpreted and evaluated by the researchers to summarize the result. The researchers will use survey questionnaires to gather the answers of the respondents.
Chapter 4 Results and Discussions. This chapter presents the presentation, interpretation, and analysis of the data gathered by the researchers.
Table 1. Profile of the respondents in terms of year level, IT specialization, and gender. The result implies that in terms of IT specialization, BPO students respondents dominates the table with 35 or 74.5%, followed by WMAD or WMAD students respondents with 6 or 12.8%. Next is NS with 5 or 10.6%, and BA students respondent, which is 1 or 2.1% of the population. The result also shows that in terms of the gender, there were 28 female students, which comprised of 59.6% of the total population. Then followed by male students, 19 or 40.4 of the population of the simple random sampled population of student respondents.
Table number 2. Types of devices and online learning platforms. The result shows that the student who use different online learning platforms, this Schoology has the highest number of responses with 31 or 66%, followed by Google Classroom with 32 respondents and has 68.1%. Edmodo has 32 and a percentage of 36.2%, and 14 responds on quizzes with 29.8%, and the others with 4 responses and has 8.5 percentage. The result also shows that the student who uses smartphone in online learning has the highest percentage with 34 respondents and has 76.4%, and 8 student respondents uses laptop, which comprise 17% of the population of respondents. In desktop, there were 5 and has 72.3%.
Kamay mo. Table 3. Student preferences and insight in the effectiveness of online learning platforms. The results show that the IT students' preferences and insights in the effectiveness of online learning platforms, it includes how they feel and how helpful the online learning platform to them. The table also shows that the overall satisfaction of using online learning platform has the highest number of respondents with 27 and with the percentage of 57.4%, followed by the students who answered no comprises 7 responses and has 14.9 percentage of there is 11 respondents who answered sometimes comprises 23.4 percentage and 2 responses with the percentage of 4.3% for maybe.
Chapter 5. Summary of findings, conclusion, and recommendation. This chapter provides the conclusions related to the study and recommendation. The conclusion of the study are drawn based on result and discussion of the data that gained in the implementation. The recommendations are given to the student, the teacher, and also the future researchers.
Summary of findings. This research study is all about analyzing the effectiveness of online learning platforms for IT students. We, the researchers, selected second-year IT students from Isabela State University, Kawayan campus. Data were collected and gathered from 47 respondents with the specialization of BPO, WAMAD, NS, and BA. These findings were supported by the majority of BPO students as respondents in the second-year level with 35 responses, followed by WAMAD students with 6 responses, NS students with 5 responses, and BA students with the lowest respondents of 1. The findings also shows that the majority of female student responds than male students.
In this study, the researcher used descriptive method to gather specific answers and information. A questionnaire by Google form was used to gather and collect the data. Number 1. The result of the findings from the respondents implies the effectiveness of using online learning platform. The respondents also implies that online learning platforms enhances their understanding of information technology concepts. They also asserted that online learning platform provides enough practical hands-on exercises to develop their information technology skills based on the percentage shown in the tables that the respondents had a positive perceptions. Number 2. The respondents implies that online learning platforms provide sufficient resources and materials for their information technology learning and are interactive enough to keep them engaged during their information technology studies. Despite some students have faced technical difficulties or connectivity issues while using online learning platform, they still prefer using an online learning platform in their studies.
Conclusion. The COVID-19 has a great impact on the instructional approaches of academic institutions all over the world. School, colleges, and universities are being forced to conduct lectures and classes online as an alternative method by which to continue students' learning. Teachers must improve students' experiences of online learning by utilizing effective alternative method using different online learning platforms. Based on the analysis of the data gained and the decision on the result of the research, the results show how effective is the online learning platform to be IT student of Isabela State University, Kawayan Campus. In terms of experiences of students using online learning platforms, specifically the platform used, the frequency of use, and their effectiveness in supporting students learning their level and engagement and participation and their academic performances. Therefore, we, the researchers, concluded that online learning platforms are effective tools for the second-year IT student of Isabela State University, Kawayan Campus.
Based on the answer and conclusion, the following recommendations were given to the student, teachers, researchers, and future researchers. Teachers can also benefit from understanding the challenges that a student can face during online learning, such as issues related to technology access and engagement, and find ways to mitigate these challenges.
For researchers, the study can contribute to the body of knowledge on online learning and inform future researchers for this topic. By examining the various factors that impact the effectiveness of online learning platforms, researchers can identify gaps in the current research and suggest areas for future exploration.
For future researchers, this study can serve as a foundation for further investigation into the effectiveness of online learning platforms, with a particular focus on IT students. Future researchers can build upon the findings of this study to explore other aspects of online learning, such as the impact of various instructional design elements, the effectiveness of different types of online learning platforms, and the role of social and collaborative learning in online education.
And that is all for our research presentation.
Thank you for listening and watching.
We highly appreciate your attention to our group presentation entitled Analyzing the Effectiveness of Online Learning Platforms for IT Students.